Hey y'all, Bite-Sized Bible in a Year, chronological edition for April 12th. We read 1 Samuel 13 and 14 and 1 Chronicles 9:35 through 39. Today's is going to be really short because I feel like what we read is really kind of setting the stage for what's going to come later. I feel like we're being introduced to the character of King Saul and his son Jonathan, but we really don't get to see how those characteristics play out till later. So I'm just going to talk about something that I'm beginning to see in the two of them, and then I'm going to leave it there, and we will see how it all kind of goes from here, okay? So when we're looking at King Saul, what I'm noticing about him, well, first let's set the scene. So remember, he's taken over as the king, and now he's building up his troops to about 3,000 people, but they're still being overrun by the Philistines and not allowed to make weapons. So the only people who have weapons are Saul and Jonathan. Everybody else does not. And so they're seeing the Philistines around them, and they're feeling very scared, so the troops start to dwindle. All right, so that's what's happening. They're close, they can see the troops, and so they're scared, of course, rightly so. And so what happens now is we're beginning to see a little bit of Saul's true character. We've seen him in the past kind of hide from what God wants him to do. And now we're seeing him, what I see in him is that he seems to be pretty impulsive, and he seems to be really extreme. Our first instance of that is in 1 Samuel 13, where he can't wait for Samuel to get there, and he goes and he performs the offering, which is only supposed to be done by the priest. We know that. And that he gets rebuked by Samuel. And then we see him in 1 Samuel 14 when he makes them make a stupid oath about not eating all day while they're fighting in the war, which Jonathan does not like. Then he says, okay, let's just go fight these guys all night long, and a priest has to step in and say, let's ask God first. And then he wants to kill Jonathan when he finds out Jonathan has eaten honeycomb. And so he just seems very extreme and very impulsive. But you'll also notice that sometimes it seems like he's following God, and it does say that wherever he turned, he was victorious in 1 Samuel 14. So to me, Saul seems like somebody who is kind of following God whenever God's on his play sheet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's good for him, then he'll follow God. Other than that, not really gonna wait. That's what it seems like to me. We will see. And then the only thing we really see of Jonathan right now is how he sees that the troops have dwindled to 600 men, and he and I can't remember what he's called. I want to say his assistant, but that's not what he was. His armor bearer go and attack the Philistines, but they wait to make sure that God says they should. So to me, I go, okay, Jonathan seems like he's action-oriented, but that he's only going to do what God wants him to do. So we can think about those two things too in our own life. Are we following God? Yes, we can be action-oriented and ready to go, but are we still waiting on God and then going? Or are we going whenever we want to, and if God is coming along, great, and if not, well, we'll figure it out. So that's something to ruminate on. Well, don't ruminate. Why don't you just pray about it? So that's what we can think about this weekend, and we'll kind of see how this plays out as we continue to read on, okay? All right, April 13th is 1 Samuel 15 through 17:31, and April 14th is 1 Samuel 17:32 through chapter 19. So this whole weekend you're reading 1 Samuel 15 through 19, and we will talk about it on Monday. Have a great weekend.